my channel, or if this is your first time here, then a big, huge, special welcome to you guys. I am super happy that you guys are here. My name is Carrington, and if you have not yet hit that subscribe button, I invite you to do so. Click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads, as well if this is your 100th, 10th, 5th, 1000th, oh my gosh, I don't know, time here, and you have not yet hit that subscribe button, I invite you to do so. And let's go ahead and let's get into today's video. If you guys want to see what makeup I used for this look, then make sure you are subscribed and have that bell turned on. That video will be coming. This is definitely a trying out a Give Me Glow palette. A Give Me Glow palette, the Vintage Rose. And today I am going to rank all 8 of my Give Me Glow palettes. So if you guys want to see which ones are worth your money, what's my number one, what's my least favorite, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, I'm gonna like take this like a brief 10 seconds. What do you guys think is going to be my number one? Out of all the Give Me Glow palettes, if you have been here a while, I have tried out, I think, every single Give Me Glow palette I have on camera. Let me know what you guys think is going to be my number one. All right, let's get into the ranking. Let's start with number 8. So number 8, I'm going to have to give to the Sweet and Sticky palette. I think I mentioned this in a video. This was like a recent video actually, that this would easily have been like my least favorite Give Me Glow. I feel like for this is just not a color story that I'm like overly interested in. Also, like this matte right here is super patchy, which leaves you with like these 3 mattes, and I feel like they're super like light, and I don't really care for like, I don't know, for like these 2. The shimmers though, like steal the show. Like those are like so beautiful. But I just, for me, color story wise, this isn't my favorite. This isn't like the worst palette that I have ever tried. This is probably like, for like this year, being like I've tried all the palettes this year, I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those that's in like the mid tier from all the palettes that I've tried. But I just really think we could have done something maybe a little bit different. Like I would have liked a different kind of a brown, more cool toned brown here. And then I don't really feel like we needed a yellow. I don't know. I don't know. This, to me, color story wise, as well as the shade being a little bit patchy, is why it's ranked number 8. Number 7 is going to be the Pastel Dreams palette. Now, I find that like 1 and done looks are so easy, or like 2 and done looks, like either way, like you could do this. Like you could take like this purple matte and like match it with like this purple shimmer, or you could take like this purple matte and match it with like this peach shimmer. Like you could do like things like that. You can do more intricate looks, you can do more rainbow looks. However, I am personally not doing a ton of rainbow looks. That's just something that I'm personally not really into. I feel like the shimmers are really, really nice. Again, you know, like look how beautiful and like shiny those are. I mean, again, Give Me Glow shimmers are just like incredible. In terms of the matte, like these are pastel shades, so they do take a little bit of like building up. They take a little bit of working with. Not that that's a deal breaker, because I feel like even for these being pastels and these being like some true pastels, they still show up really, really nice, especially with a white base. But I just can't rank this any higher, just because again, I'm personally not really going for rainbow palettes. And pastels just aren't necessarily something that like I'm super into. But I don't think like this is a bad palette. I think like if you're in the market for like a really nice pastel palette, especially like a pastel rainbow palette, definitely check this out. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed in this. But if you're like me and rainbows aren't really your thing, pastels aren't really your thing, I think you can definitely skip on this. Number 6 is going to be the Give Me Glow Summer Vibes palette. This is super, super pretty. It has like a ton of like awesome options. You could go like a pink option. You could do a sunset look. You could do like just a plain neutral look. You could do just an orange look. You could, I mean, you could really take this palette in so many different directions. And that's one thing that like I absolutely love about this, is that there's just so many different directions that you could really take with this palette. I've loved all of the looks that I have created with this. Although you guys have only seen like one look, I usually do try to test out my palettes multiple times. I'll bring them in, you know, maybe I have like an event or something that I'm going to, and I really feel like, you know, like this would be a great look to go with it. I will try to pull out, you know, palettes that I have used. And I love every look that I create. However, this is definitely like a very like bright summer palette, and it has those summer tones. And I find that for my skin tone, being as cool as it is, because my skin tone is it's like cool, like it is pink. It is like pink. That these like yellows and oranges can kind of make me look sickly, and so these are just like colors I'm not really going into. Also, I just kind of feel like I don't really use this color for anything, and I think it's really beautiful unless I'm wanting like a two, you know, like a matte, like putting these together. What am I trying to say? Like trying to combine like this together. I feel like that looks really good. But other than that, like the only other options I really have are more of like the neutrals. And again, with as many beautiful shades as there is, and I'm really only getting a lot of use out of the neutrals, wasn't really worth it for my budget. But if you are into like oranges, Joanne, then I think you're really gonna like this. I really like that it has like the neutral option. So if you're like using this palette for like a shop in my stash, or this is maybe like one of the few palettes that you have and you need to go to work, you have those neutrals. If you're wanting a day where you're like, I'm going to the beach, I really want a sunset eye, or I really want like those oranges and those yellows, here for you. If you know, like, oh, I want to mix this in somehow, it's here. It's a great palette, but again, just for me, I'm literally only using these two together. I'm not mixing them in any other way, and I'm not getting a lot of use out of these. I'm getting more use out of the neutrals. So for me, it wasn't really worth like my money. And if you are like me, where you're probably not going to get a lot of use out of this palette except for maybe like the neutrals, this probably wouldn't be worth your money. Number 5 is the Vivid Rose. This is where like, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I have ranked and re-ranked these palettes until I finally was happy with my decision. But let me tell you, these next palettes were like the hardest to rank. So the Vivid Rose does come in, I know, at number 5. I do love like pinks and purples. Don't get me wrong, like pinks and purples used to be like my number 1 color story until like greens came and took over. Like, who am I? But I just feel like I love the color story of the other palettes slightly more. I don't think this is a bad palette at all. I will say I like all the different directions that you can go with this. Like you could do like a pink, you could do like a purple, you could do like a mauve, you could do like a neutral. I really do love all of that, truthfully. I feel like the shimmers that they chose were nice. I feel like the mattes that they chose were nice. I don't really have any issues with this palette at all, except for I just like the color story a little bit more of the others, or I like the looks I'm able to create more. I feel like with this, it's just always going to be like a pink or a purple, and like that's it. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like if like pinks and purples are like your jam and you're wearing pinks and purples every single day, or like some mauves, this is going to be your palette. But I like something where I can kind of do something a little bit different, and I just feel like it's always the same with this. So this is why I ranked a little bit lower for me. I feel like number 4, I'm shocked it's number 4. Like I felt like this would have been like a lower one, but I guess I just have to give it to it. So number 4 is this Grunge palette. Number 1, this is definitely very much a grunge palette, but I like how you can take it in so many different directions. You can do like a purple, you can do like a light neutral, you can do like a deep smoky eye. I like all those things. One reason why it's ranked a little bit lower is like these two shimmers are very similar, and I feel like we could have done something a little bit different, like, you know, changed out one of those and made the shimmer a little bit different, or added a shimmer. you know, maybe taken this one out and added another shimmer. I don't know. Feels something different. But I'm also just shocked that this is number 4 because these tones are very grunge and deep. And for someone like me who has very small, hooded, droopy eyelids, having darker tones really makes them look even smaller. And a lot of people don't really want their eyelids to look, you know, real tiny. Okay, we're trying to open up our eyes here. But I don't know what it is about this palette, but every time I do a look with this, I mean every time, it does not matter what look it is, okay? Like it could be one where I'm just like throwing random colors together that really like, you're like, no, that doesn't make sense to do. I don't know. Somehow, however, I get compliments galore when I wear this. Every single time that I wear this palette, I'm getting complimented by like so many people. It just like blows my mind that like this palette that's like meant to make my eyes look tinier, I'm getting like the most compliments on. Also, I love this aesthetic, okay? Like the grunge. Okay, I was an emo kid back in the high school days. Like I had like a box dyed black hair. I would say like piercings galore, but like as you can tell, like I still have like piercings galore. I've let some of them close up and heal, but I mean I just had like piercings, whatever. Black box hair, black clothing, although in all fairness, like I still wear black clothing just because I don't know, it's like the best color clothing. But and then like the shade names like Nirvana, Teenage Dirtbag, like just like super like nostalgic for me. So that's one reason why it's like ranked up there higher. But like I could have been like, yeah, the nostalgia is like there, but I could rank this lower based on color story. But like I can't because like so many people just like compliment me on this palette. Blows me out of the water. All right, number 3. I have a feeling a lot of you would have said this would have been my number 1, but it is actually number 3, and that is the Juicy Olive. So the reason why this is number 3, number 1, however, this is a great palette. I feel like this is like one of the best green palettes that I have ever tried, and I've tried a lot of green palettes. Like let me just say, I have tried a lot, not to mention I have bought a lot that I still have not tried, but this is definitely like one of like the top tier best green palettes that I have ever tried. Now, the reason why it's not ranked like number 1 is just because I feel like I get the same look over and over again. Granted, there's only like 6 shades, 2 of them are shimmers, but I feel like these are like so similar. I don't know, maybe like a more vibrant kind of a green. I don't know, something. I just feel like for me this is missing something, and I just don't know necessarily what that is, but it's just missing something. I feel like my looks are always the same, but it's ranked so high because 1, it's green. 2, this is one of the best green palettes I have ever tried. 3, shimmers, mattes, formula, blows me out of the water, and I like how compact it is. Like I like how this is like one where it's like if I was traveling and I really wanted a nice green palette that I know I can like rely on and my look is going to come out flawless, definitely take this. Although I don't really want to take this because I don't want to risk breaking it. So like I would probably take like my ColourPop green one if I wanted like a green look, because I don't really care if that one breaks. That one's like $5. This is like $30 something, so I kind of care more if this breaks and I have to replace that. But like I just feel like the looks I get are kind of the same. I feel like if you're in the market for a really nice grungy green palette, 100% get this. Don't waste your money on like the hot jalapeno from e.l.f. or I don't know, really like anything else. I feel like this right here, worth every penny. Number 2 is going to be Christmas Morning. I love this palette. I love the shimmers. I love like the looks that I have created with this. I have done like a wide variety of looks with this palette, and I always get like complimented on it. Like one of my coworkers is always like, yeah, your makeup looks nice today. But like when I wear this palette, she's like, wow, your eye looks really good. And it's like, I could, like, it doesn't matter what combination I'm using. Like, she is constantly complimenting on how good my eyes look. And here's the thing, like, if she's complimenting me on how good my eyes look, instead of just saying, yeah, it looks nice, it's a big deal. All right, like, it's a big deal. So the fact that, like, she is constantly like, that's good, is like enough for me. The only reason why it's not ranked probably number one is just because like, I don't know. I feel like matte wise, I feel like I'm missing something in this palette. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel like I'm missing something. Like, you have these two mattes and it's like, I compare them and make looks. Like, it's not like with like this shade or like whatever. But it's just like almost like I'm missing something and I can't put my hand on what it is that I'm missing that would make this palette better. But I just know that when I use this, I'm just constantly like, something is missing. There's something about this that's missing to me. But this is definitely going to be like a great palette for like Christmas. I even like did like a look, like the one that I did here on YouTube that I showed you guys. I'll link that video down below. I wore that to like the 4th of July. And like people were like, oh wow, your eyes look like a firework. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you very much. And so like it's just like, it's like this is meant for like Christmas colors, and yet here I am at the 4th of July. People are like, it's still like a firework. It makes me want a hot dog real bad. You know, like that. I love like the little packaging, like it's a little present to you from Give Me Glow. Like that's just a nice touch. I just feel like this, it's just like super cute, but it just can't beat out my number one. It just can't. Number one is going to be the Vintage Rose. Okay, I know that I've recently tried this. I have made quite a few looks with it. I mean, this is like fall. This is beautiful. The packaging is like so stunningly beautiful. I love like the shimmer options with like the mattes. I don't know, I just like love like everything about this. This is so fall, so grungy fall. I love this palette. There's not one thing bad about this. I feel like I can make all the colors work. I feel like yeah, like I could do like a 2 and done right here, or I could do like what I did today and use like a multitude. I could just like go so many different ways with this palette. I get lots and lots of compliments. People love this eye look. I have done this eye look trying this palette out in a video, but I have also done a couple other looks, so I could definitely make sure I filmed the ranking of the palette video. And just like, again, everybody compliments me. And so many people are like, usually a lot of people like will compliment me, but this is one where it's like people compliment me and are like, where did you get that palette? Like, where can I pick up that palette? And I'll be like, oh, Give Me Glow. Let me send you a link to their website. Let me send you a link to this palette. Like, this is so good. Like, people are noticing, people are asking about this palette, whereas before it's like, yeah, a lot of people compliment, but like, this is one where like people are one complimenting, and two, asking where to get the palette. Not to mention, I don't know what it is, but I love like fall makeup looks, like above all other seasons. And fall's not even my favorite season. Like, that's what like blows my mind. Like, fall's not even my favorite season, but it is my favorite color story. Fall is my favorite color story, and this gives it to me. This gives me the color story that I need. I love this. It's got my grungy greens, it's got those purples and pinks, it's got everything that I would need for fall, but also everything that I need for every day. I don't know. Love this. So good. Alright guys, and that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you guys maybe would have ranked these. Would you have ranked them differently? I want to know that. Have you ever tried Give Me Glow? If not, are you wanting to check out Give Me Glow? Because let me tell you, Give Me Glow is so stupidly good. Like, it is so good. It's worth every single penny. And if they ever tell me they're discontinuing a palette, which they are discontinuing the grunge, so I bought like 4 backups, you know, if they ever tell me they're discontinuing a palette, like, I'm literally buying as many backups as humanly possible, because it's just so good. Especially if they ever discontinue this Vintage Rose, I will be heartbroken. I will be so heartbroken. So hopefully that's not the case, but I love Give Me Glow. Let me know if you guys have ever tried Give Me Glow, what you think. Do you love this eye look? Do you not? Give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this type of content. Let me just invite you again to hit the subscribe button and click the little bell if you have not already, so you'll be notified when I upload and you can join this dumpster fire. Because let me tell you, sometimes it's a dumpster fire. But that is it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!